Hello and welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashemi. It's been a great day, a good Friday in the city of Abuja. You know how we do it on the program. We talk sports, and we talk about Nigerian sports, most especially on the show, because if we don't talk about it, nobody will do that for us, and we'll have to sell our own, and that is what we normally do on the show. And we will go straight to Rwanda, where the Nigeria yellow-green women's team are doing well in cricket, despite the setback against Zimbabwe. They will be looking further than that to get the maximum win in their next game, so that at least they can place third in that competition. It is the Kipuka T20 international competition going on in Rwanda. It was played in a round-robin format, and for the Yellow Greens of Nigeria, they are currently fourth on the table, despite that 64-run loss against Zimbabwe in that game, and they will be looking forward to get the maximum win in today's game, so that they can at least go further in that position. Zimbabwe and Uganda have topped the table in that round-robin format. And on the show this morning, I have a friend and a brother, Nnamdi Azikiwe. Welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV.
Okay, good to have me on the show.
All right. For the cricket team of Nigeria, the Yellow Greens, they are right there in Kigali, doing the nation proud. Despite that setback against Zimbabwe, when it comes to cricket, Zimbabwe is a top nation in Africa. 64-run loss for the Yellow Greens of Nigeria.
Well, the fact that they were able to bounce back from that particular loss against Zimbabwe, now they've been able to do the best thing of what we actually expect from them. Winning this game will spur them into action. We know that to some extent, the Southern African part of this continent, they are much more better when it comes to this sort of cricket. But to some extent, we are building up. The way the other nations close the gap against us towards women football, the same way we are also closing the gap against other southern part of African continent when it comes to cricket sport. So for our ladies playing at the Kibuka in Rwanda, that has really, for like 3-4 years now, they've been very consistent at the Kibuka tournament, contesting for honor, see how they can close the gap. And really, they are closing the gap. If we check our team, 64 wickets, you show that they were better in than the former game that they played. They are improving, and they are trying to see how they will be one of the forces to be reckoned with in Africa. Cricket is really growing, especially the women. I'm really so impressed with the way the women have taken that sport seriously. Our women team, I'm talking about our cricket team, we have the Yellow Greens, but our ladies, the way they've been so consistent, they've taken that sport so serious.
So personal
that, in fact, anytime you hear cricket in Nigeria, your mind, first of all, tilts towards the women's team, and really they are making us proud. So kudos to them for winning this game, and hopefully they can begin to close the gap against Kenya of this world, Malawi of this world, Botswana of this world, and all South Africa of this world, because really the way they are closing the gap against us in football, you understand? We are also closing the gap against them when it comes to women cricket.
All right, when it comes to women cricket, they will be taking on Malawi later on in that particular game. Nigeria is fourth on the table, on the round-robin format table, and if we are able to beat Malawi, I will just pick them to the third place playoff. All right, let's leave that story and go straight to athletics, and we will go. We'll just stop by in Ghana, where at the Confederation of African Athletics Championship on the course of the week, Nigeria stayed top of the table. They finished top of the table with a total of 18 medals. They won 8 golds in that particular tournament, and they finished top of the medals table. For Nigerian athletes who went to Ghana, it is like a repeat of what we saw at the African Games, where we dominated in the athletics event. All right, the table is on the screen. We have a Nigerian with 13 gold, 4 silver, and 1 bronze medal, making a total of 18. Ghana is second with 8 gold, 9 silver, 6 bronze medal, 23 in total. But if you look at total medal, 23, 18. But because of the number of gold medals we won, we are at the top of the table, and it's a good one for Team Nigeria participating at the Athletics Championship in Ghana.
Well, if you look at the way the table is right now, you look at, it's always better for you to win more gold Now, that gold that we won, we have 13 gold, and if you check the total, we have 18. Ghana is having 23. But the amount of silver they gathered is not as strong. The weight, when they categorize it, the weight of gold is actually higher than silver. So the fact that they had 9 silver, 6 bronze, against us, we have 13 gold, that has cancelled out the volume of the total they have. They have 23 in all medals, but it doesn't count because gold is far higher than others. So that 13 gold we have gave us the chance to be top of that particular final table with 18 in total. They have Burkina Faso, Togo, Mali in that respective order. But the main focus is Nigeria. The green, white, green flag is stopping there at this CAA championship in Ghana, and the fact that the Nigerian athletes knew what was at stake. They needed this. For some of them, as we speak right now, Team God Bless has been able to qualify for the Olympics.
Yes,
congrats to her, and congrats to Team Nigeria. We are really doing so well. And I love the fact that this is a particular sport that we have so much strength. In fact, when it comes to athletics, sincerity, we know that this sport of athletics is our strength. If not that, maybe some years back that we actually went down, but now we are picking up again, getting to the forefront of athletics. Let me take you back a bit. If you remember Frankie Fredericks of Namibia.
Yes, of course.
Fredericks, despite the fact that, in fact, he was always there as the fastest and all that in Africa, he had some handful of Nigeria to compete with. Each time, Uche Medelu, Shimugu Koya, Olusoji Fashuba, all of them were there to also show that we were ready for this. If you look at our women, when the Queen of Track, Miriam Yali, was there, you can't take anything from her. Blessing Okagbari, all of them, that Fatima Yusuf, Faila Togunkoya, all of them show their class as strong athletes when it comes to it. And if you go to the quarter milers, Leson Debada was there. Well, the man that ran the race of his life, who actually did the job for us. He did everything to make sure we made it to the Olympic gold medal, even though we came second during that particular 1996 Olympics. But you look at the record of Nigerian athletes, they've been very, very strong. So now we're back to the way we used to do it. And if you remember, the same way boxing was our sport then in the 80s, now we are coming back again. Cool. So congrats to Team Nigeria for being able to do this. I wasn't expecting less from them. They are supposed to actually top that group. Yes, we have the human resources, the population alone can help us. If all we need to do is to harness what we have by always providing funds for these athletes to go for events. Now, imagine if we are not there, but they were able to go there. They show their class that they could actually outrun others. Winning 13 gold medal is not a means. It's not a means. They show their class, and they deserve that. Excuse me. They deserve that particular praise from Nigerians, and that is coming from Okowa, that is the Athletic Federation of Nigerian president, for the fact that the entire team Nigeria decided to go for gold, 13 gold, and you look at the remaining medal they won. That alone shows that they were ready to dominate Africa. So what we are praying for or expecting from them now is the fact that when they get to the Olympics, the same feat they achieve here, they should propel further by winning more medals at the Olympics, especially be at the podium for going for gold, to go for gold at the Olympics. Yes, going for gold at the Olympics, and I have that confidence that Nigerian athletes will definitely do that when the Olympics comes calling, less than 50-something days to that particular event. And we, with the way things are going for Nigerian athletes, I believe they will do well in Paris. All right, let's leave that story and go straight to Enugu State, where the NNL Super 8 is up. And by tomorrow, that the Super 8 for the NNL will kick off, and we know we have about 8 teams, likes of Nasarawa United, Ikorodu City, Madiba FC, and co. Our own FCT Sporting Supreme is also in the playoff for the Super 8. Now, let's look at the Super 8. This is where teams are being promoted to the senior league in the land, that is the Nigerian Premier Football League, and then hostilities will kick off on Saturday at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium with mouth-watering fixtures in that particular NNL Super 8. Well, I think all the teams are battle ready. The 8 teams that will play. We have teams like Sporting Lagos, Nasarawa United, all of them battle ready to see. Sokoto United also. So I'm looking at the Northern Conference, the Southern Conference teams. Who will make it to the final? Who will actually top it? Who will win this particular one? Because it's a bit dicey. You look at Nasarawa United from North Central, you want to pitch your tent with them. You also remember
Sporting
Supreme from Abuja. They are also there. The name they bear alone can actually speak volume for them. They were actually supreme enough to make it to this. No one saw that coming. Attention was on AFCC, other teams in Abuja.
Yes, of course.
No one was expecting Sporting Supreme to be the team to beat from the FCT, which they did. And if you go to the northwest, you look at Sokoto United, Ikorodu City. I'm talking about the north now. Sokoto United being able to make it. Also, they tried their best. You look at Ikorodu City. You look at Sporting Lagos, thereabout. They also made it. So if you look at all the 8 teams that are already in Enugu for this Super 8 starting tomorrow, it shows that all of them were ready because in their groups, in their conferences, they show their class by being able to qualify. Eric Anemi Warriors, watch out for that team. That team seems to be having a resurgence. They are trying to come back to the MPFA. They used to be there. They know the business of playing the MPFA alongside Nasarawa United. So the two teams are looking at it that, okay, we had this experience. We want to show to these other teams that we've been there before. And we can also get our way back. So for this Super 8 coming up, starting at the Kadira in Enugu, a lot of teams, all the 8 teams, players now, the coaching crew, everybody that are trying to, okay, here is a war. We have to fight this war till end. And for now, you can't just pick anything to be the winner. But by the time the game starts tomorrow, it begins to look at the ascendancy of their performances against one another, as maybe play of game 1, you play of game 2, then it begins to gather. So it has to do with how prepared you are and how you can quickly gather points. Because at times, if you start slow, some teams will actually start very fast and they'll gather points. Before you blink, they've already gone. And by the time you pick up, you won't be able to mathematically beat them anymore. So for the Super 8 this year, I commend the Nigerian National League for being able to put up something nice because the awareness is actually very, very huge now. A lot of people knows about it. Not gonna know where you don't even know. The only thing you hear is the final. Also, person is
coming to Nigerian Premier.
Exactly. But now people know that okay, 8 teams are gathering in Enugu. 8 teams are pursuing to see how they can make it to the MPFL, and also who will win the final winner. That should be a winner of the league, and also the teams that will making it to the MPFL. So awareness is key there, and they are actually working on it. I commend the NNL led by George Aluo, and for the fact that the teams also, they are battle ready. All the teams are already in Enugu. They want to win this.
Yes, of course. Sporting Supreme of Abuja was the first team to land in Enugu. Now let's look at it this way. Before now, the organizers, that is NNL, actually came out with this news that none of the club will be allowed to stream live their games. When their games is going on, they will not be allowed to stream. Like, don't you think that is too heavy for the clubs?
Sorry to cut you. I don't think it's. They are trying to, that's right. We have rights. That has to do with TV rights, even the streaming right and all that. So NNL know what they are doing. If they allow all the 8 clubs to be doing that, how would they make their money as a body? No, sincerely. So they have had an agreement with media units that will actually stream it or show it on TV thereabout. Because I've read where they mention the TVC that will be showing it, and also the company that will be streaming it. So they are the organizer of the competition. So let the 8 clubs key into that place. Yeah, they have the right. Yes, they have the right. It's just like now, CAF. If CAF is organizing competition, if you buy the right outrightly, okay, good. But did the clubs buy the right?
No.
So NNL own the right. So they have whatever they say now, just obey and follow up. Key into it. Your media officer or your media units, you key into those channels provided by NNL, Nigerian National League. They know they need to make money. It needs to get better to that extent whereby our football can easily run themselves, the bodies, the organizers, the management. They need to be able to, okay, let's cite the championship in England. The championship in England is as strong as the EPL.
Yes, of course.
Because they run the business. They make the money to run the league. It's not as if they are depending on one government. They can survive because of the money they are making from all these things we are talking about, the TV right, the memorabilia, the jersey, the kits and everything, even to the food you eat at the stadium. You understand? So if NNL deem it that, okay, we have the right to show this because we have a deal with a particular company to run this, then you have to go with it. so that they can make some money and be able to be. We just have to allow this organization to be independent. At times, they need to allow business-minded people that know how to run football to come in. If everything is always about the government, there is no way our football will get better. We need to privatize it. We need to let people that know the business of running football. In our league, in the MPFL, the main league now, the topmost league, how many private clubs are there? Maybe 2 or 3. Remo Stars, Sporting Lagos, and how many? How many will you remember? In fact, we have more private team in the NNL.
Yes, than
the main league. It's not supposed to be so. Imagine if our league, we have like 18 private-owned league. Will you open your eyes and let your club fold up? No. Look at what is happening to Gombe United. It's because maybe the government decided not to be like, we can't be spending money here when there is no result. But it's a private-owned business with no one.
Doma United.
Exactly. They will try their best to make sure they push for how to run the business. Check or look at how Remo starts. Jealously, the owner, Kunle has been able to hold it because he knows what is at stake. He knows how much he's spending. He doesn't want the team to go down. So he will keep on pushing for how to get the progress of that squad. So that is why NNL, I commend them for this. And I just hope they will be able to build on it so that it will become something very formal where money could be challenging to the organization. Not every time. If you notice, at times, just because of lack of funds, always going cap in hand to look for money from the government, hampers so many sporting moments. And it affects the athletes. They won't have any platform to showcase their talent. But when there is money to run it, maybe government will not say, okay, let's take this as the
support.
So that's a good one for our sport.
Okay, that's a good one for our sport. Games will kick off tomorrow at the Cathedral, that is in Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in Enugu State, where the Super 8 for the Nigerian National League will be taking place. 3 teams will make it to the Nigerian Premier Football League, but a winner of the league will have to emerge, and it's going to be played in a round-robin format, gathering points. The top team wins the league, and I think 5 million naira will be given to the winner of the league for 2023-2024 NNL season. The likes of Inter Lagos, Madiba FC, Sporting Supreme of Abuja FCT, our own. Actually, we want to see an FCT team in the Nigerian Premier Football League because it's long overdue. It's also there, and when hostilities start tomorrow, we will know whether Sporting Supreme will be able to be among the top 3, even though they don't win the league, but they should be among the first, second, third to make it to the Nigerian Premier Football League. We would have gotten in touch with the media officer of the league, but we couldn't establish contact with Ama Ignis, the media officer of the Nigerian Football League. All right, let's go straight to WAFU B. Let's talk about WAFU B. That is the regional championship where WAFU B, that is the CAF Women's Champions League qualifiers, has been given, the right has been given to Cote d'Ivoire to host the tournament. And we know that our own Bendel, that is Edo Queens, will be representing Nigeria at the WAFU B tournament. Cote d'Ivoire to host the tournament, they have to play. Somebody asked a question. The men played their league, and the winners of the league gets this automatic qualification to the group stage of the CAF Champions League. Why don't we have the same for the women? Now the women has to play from their regional zone before going for the main tournament. But we know Edo Queens will be representing Nigeria at the WAFU B tournament in Cote d'Ivoire.
First of all, congrats to Cote d'Ivoire for getting that particular hosting right, to be able to host it, and to some extent you see why it's always good to host event, because you discover that there's some economic value that it adds to your nation, GDP and thereabouts. So now they've tasted the AFCON, they saw how juicy it was. So now they actually bidded for this and they got it. For all the teams coming across West Africa to play in Cote d'Ivoire, Edo Queens, our own, will be representing us. Like what you said, maybe the format they're using for women. And this to some extent, they are trying to just find a way so that it will look like we just have to do something different from men's version of football, so that we can have let the women have a sense of belonging, that okay, this is how we play, this is how we play our own, this is how we play our own league. So for Edo Queens, we just believe that they will do well, because they need to. It's been a while, and we've seen our teams actually doing well in Africa when it comes to women football, club football. We need to get there and show that it's not about the Moroccans, the Tunisians of this world who have really been dominating the club football in Africa. So high time that Edo Queens go out there, dominate, conquer West Africa, and then go to the African level and also conquer.
Okay, now if Edo Queens make it to the CAF Women's Champions League, it's going to be the third Nigerian team. The first team was Rivers Angel. They didn't qualify from the group stage at all, losing 2 games and just winning 1 in that particular game. And then we have Bayelsa Queens, who went there and they were able to come third. They played the third place game. And then the last team that represented Nigeria didn't even get to the CAF Women's Champions League at all. That is Delta Queens. They lost from the WAFU qualifiers. That is Delta Queens. But now we now have Edo Queens. How prepared do you think Edo Queens, how prepared are they? Can they surmount this hurdle and then make it the second Nigerian team, the third Nigerian team to play in the CAF Women's Champions League?
Well, I think to know how they are prepared, I'm sure they know what's at stake.
Yes,
they want to turn things around. They know that Bayelsa, Delta, Rivers, they've been there, they did nothing. Now, I will take a cue from Rivers Hoopers basketball now. I want to measure the two so that they can use that as a yardstick for them to do well. When the like of Okora Falcons and other clubs representing Nigeria, the BAL, Basketball African League, they did not do well
at all.
But Rivers Hoopers were there 2021. They too didn't do well. But this time around, they felt, no, we can't just be a bystander here. We can't just be making up the number. We have to do something. And if you noticed, they went for the Sahara Conference in Senegal. They conquered. They came first there against all odds when no one even gave any chance. Attention was on AS Douane and Monesta of this world from Tunisia. Rivers Super blew everyone away. They got to the African level over there in Kigali. They also shocked everyone by coming third. In fact, their 3 players made the first and second team of the best in the BAL history. So, rather, for this season. And that shows that for the first time in history of basketball, we have a team from Nigeria being able to make third position. They won the coach of the tournament, Ogo Daudu. They have 3 players in the best team, first and second. They also came third when no one gave them the chance. So Edo Queens should now use that as a... So if Rivers Supers could do it, when teams from Nigeria, when Nigerians were even underrating them, because you look at the name of other clubs you want to face.
Yeah, I actually feared for Rivers Supers.
So the same thing should happen to Edo Queens. Should also, okay, if they could do it, let's take a cue from them. We can go all the way to conquer West Africa, the way they did it. They've set example for them. Then we can also conquer Africa. Who says Edo Queen cannot win it? They can. Okay. But it is high time a Nigerian club, I'm talking about women club football now, should go out there and show why we dominate Africa. If nationally we are dominating Africa, then what happens to our club side not being able to dominate Africa? Does it mean that club side we are kind of weaker, and then nationally we are stronger? Then it means majority of our players, is it because they are coming from abroad, that's why we have the strength? What happens to our league? The NFF should deem it to see what can we do to strengthen the league that they can withstand the firepower of all the other clubs coming from Africa. That if we do it nationally, what happens to our club side? Something is missing. Then let's fix it. So Edo Queen must make a statement by scaring off other African Nigeria. They've come to stay in this club football, and it can be achieved.
Yes, it can be achieved with Edo Queens taking a cue from Rivers Hoopers, who just did well at the Basketball League Africa 2024. All right, let's quickly leave that story and go straight to the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, and we'll have some results from the CAF zone. Games were played yesterday. Let's just run over the result. We have Guinea-Bissau and Ethiopia playing a goalless draw. Egypt beat Burkina Faso 2-1. Mauritania 0, Sudan 2. Senegal and DR Congo played a 1-1 draw. Benin Republic beat Rwanda Benin in Nigeria's group. Now they are at the top of that group. 1-0 against Rwanda, and then Libya beat Mauritius 2-1. Algeria 1, Guinea 2, and then we have Malawi 3, Sao Tome and Principe 1. Mali lost to Ghana 2-1. And we have qualifiers. We have fixtures for today. Fixtures are lined up for today. Let's just run over the fixtures. Early fixtures for this afternoon. We have Zimbabwe against Lesotho, Kenya, Burundi, Mozambique, and Somalia. Let's go straight to EPL quickly, and then we'll look at this story coming in from the EPL after the round of votes yesterday. And it has been voted that VAR will remain in the English Premier League. In 1 second, only one team voted against VAR.
Wolverhampton
Wanderers voted against it, and they were the first person to even ask the league organizers to cancel VAR from the league.
Well, I think because majority of the league body, actually clubs rather, say no to it, say yes to it. That's why they counter that. But if they had more numbers, who actually said no, they will have also won the conquest. For Wolverhampton Wanderers, they know why. They felt maybe to some extent, if you check it, VAR really, even though it has its own advantage, disadvantage also they also have it. Why it delays the matches. It's not seriously 100% accurate.
Yes.
Therefore, the fact that it's still human being
that controls
that
it.
will control it. What if that human being does up? That's one. What if human being decides, well, I love this, I don't want to? What about start trying to favor one club? Favoritism? What about the nature? What if you dose up? What if there is error on the tab? Is it not a button you punch?
Yes, of course.
What if you make error? So the human error factor cannot be taken away outrightly. It will still be there. That is why we are just humans. We are not perfect.
Okay, that is why we are humans. We are not perfect. For Wolverhampton Wanderers, where I don't know the eyes those referees will be using to look at Wolves when the league resumes for next season. Let's take this last one on the show this morning, where Chelsea is eyeing Everton striker Calvert-Lewin to join them. Let's see how that goes, if definitely they can get this man from Everton. All right, that is where we'll be leaving it on the show this morning. 360 Sports. Thanks, Adini Yajichafe, for joining me on the show. It's been a wonderful one having you around.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that is it on the program. I am Emmanuel Fashemi saying thanks for watching.